Hi, my name's Adam Holtai. I'm the founder of Three Phase Qigong, and pretty soon here in the upcoming week, I'm going to be releasing a lot of short videos on my Facebook page for those of you who would like to follow along, working on some specific Qigong practices. But before I did that, I wanted to just take a few minutes and give you my little spiel that I give to people typically when they're coming to take Qigong from me for the first time. And I usually just ask, okay, why are you here? Why do you want to try qigong? What ailments is it that you're looking to heal? And most of the time, they'll come with various things: neck pain, shoulder pain, anxiety. So it can be physical or emotional, or of any nature. But really, the important thing that I try to convey to them is why qigong works and why they should have faith in qigong. And so I pretty much give them the same little spiel that I'll give to you now. So essentially, the background of Qigong, a lot of people don't know where it comes from, but it is what's considered one of the five branches of Chinese medicine. And those other branches of Chinese medicine, or the five, are acupuncture, herbs, diet, massage, and Qigong. And this is something that you're welcome to comment on. I would imagine that all of the branches of Qigong stemmed, or excuse me, all of the branches of Chinese medicine stemmed from Qigong, because Qigong is essentially energy cultivation, and it's knowing yourself, it's sensing energy and getting in tune to the more subtle sensations in your body and to the things around you and in your environment. And so I would imagine that the way that acupuncturists, or the way that people began practicing acupuncture, was by first having an understanding of qi within themselves and how that energy circulates through the body, and what internal organs and bodily systems and emotional states different areas of the body are related to. And so, again, Qigong is then one of the five branches of Chinese medicine, which in and of itself is just an amazing framework of knowledge and healing for any ailment. So, one of the bases of Qigong and of Chinese medicine is a concept called the five elements. And so, the way that I start with the five elements, they are earth, metal, fire, water, and wood. And these are a framework to basically represent anything and everything, any phenomenon in your body. They each represent a season, they each govern a negative emotion, they each connect with a certain system in your body, like the muscular system or the circulatory system. And the simplest way to begin learning about the five elements is within your body and within your internal organs. So each element has a pair of internal organs that it's related with. One is a internal organ, one is a yang internal organ. And in general, the yin takes primary. They are what store our healing energy and store the energy of an element. The yang internal organ is in charge of expelling stagnant energy and processing energy. So let's give one example. So the fire element has a yin organ, which is the heart, and the yang organ is the small intestine. And so in the body, the meridians that acupuncturists will work on and that Qigong works on are related to those internal organs as well. So you have a meridian for your heart. So your heart meridian starts in your armpit, comes down to your pinky, and that's on the inside. And then the yang meridian, the small intestine, starts just opposite of that, and it comes down the back of the arm and then carries along through a more complex route than the heart does. So similarly, you have the metal element. The large intestine is the yang internal organ, and the lungs are the yin internal organ. And the lung starts up in here, goes down to your thumb, and then the large intestine is on your pointer finger, comes up So again, it's kind of a mirror. One comes down here, and then flip, comes up the other side. So yin and yang. So in that way, with the 5 elements, you're going to represent all of the major internal organs in your body. And then beyond that, each of these internal organs holds, like I mentioned before, a certain negative emotion. Then they also hold a positive emotional virtue, which helps overcome the negative emotion. They also they're related to principles in Tibetan Buddhism that are called paramitas, which are life practices. And those are a higher level of virtue, which are things like generosity and perseverance and concentration and ethics. So again, your 5 elements connect with anything that's going on in your body physically. So your earth element is related to your muscular system. Your wood element, the liver and the gallbladder, are connected with your ligaments and your tendons. Your water element, the kidneys and the bladder, are connected with your bone health. And so every system in your body you can bring back to the internal organs, and you can bring back to an element. And so Qigong, very simply, is mindful movement with your breath. Or it's sometimes broken down into 3 things: breathing, movement, and meditation or mindfulness. So in Qigong, each practice is going to stimulate a certain meridian. So systematically then, the forms, such as the 8 pieces of the brocade or 5-element Qigong, they will go through each meridian pair and stimulate those meridians, and then subsequently heal the internal organs or balance the internal organs, harmonize the elements, and then it will have an effect on all those systems in your body. So it may seem illogical in some ways that doing these movements can heal your bone health, can heal your circulation, your blood flow, but that's what energy does. So another principle of Qigong is that basically our physical body is just a manifestation of our energy, and that the energy is more fundamental. So behind all the physical appearance, there's some energetic constitution too. So in the Qigong forms then, for example, if we were to take the large intestine and the lung, this is the metal element. There's one form where you act like you're a archer and you're stretching the bow, you're drawing the bow. So that movement, even if you just make your hand structured like that, this is again your large intestine and your lung. It combines a movement, pulling, drawing the bow, and a breath. So when you're pulling, you're breathing in. When you release, you breathe out. It also combines tension. So when you're pulling, you're tense. And when you're releasing, you're relaxed. So when you're doing this one in particular, it's helping the metal element, your lungs, and your large intestine. So if you went to the acupuncturist and had lung problems or asthma or something like that, they might put the needle in a point along the lung meridian. And when you're feeling these movements, you're going to sense tension in different places. I mean, at first you might not even be able to stretch your elbow out all the way, but usually those points where you feel tense or tight or blocked, those are the points as well that an acupuncturist will feel around along the meridian line and perhaps put a needle in that point to either release excess energy or add energy where it's insufficient. So that's the way that you can balance all the elements and then restore health to your body and your emotions. The metal element, for example, is related with grief and sadness, and to release that and to build the healing virtue for that element, which is courage and perseverance, you exercise the metal element. So I just wanted to explain that briefly to give you a background of why Qigong works, because just from the outside all you're seeing is people moving in systematic ways, but it's really helpful to have the principles, because one really key factor in the efficacy of your Qigong is your faith in the practice. Because there's such a component of the mind and the body connection, that your mind and knowing the principles and then seeing them demonstrated through your practice will just build your faith in the practice. And the stronger your faith in the practice, then you're going to achieve more results and more quickly. So again, I mentioned I'm going to be sharing a bunch of videos here subsequently throughout the week, and I'll keep that up on a monthly basis too. So I hope you stay tuned, and I'll be seeing you soon.